what's happening? What are you seeing happening in the world of kind of integrations, specifically as it's associated with VMS?
I think buyers go through the entire cycle of buying, right? And they get to the short list, and then it's the final two or three, and then when you get the IT folks involved, it's like, all right, 9 times out of 10, there are questions, very serious questions about the existing tech stack, right? Because as much as we say, and I don't mean it for all enterprises and all types of tech, but extended workforce management tech in some way, I feel, has surpassed FTE tech. But at the end of the day, we usually, what is the core system of record? It's an ERP, it's a CRM, it's another HRIS platform that every single functional unit across the organization is using. And so a lot of these final decisions come down to how does it integrate with what we have already, right? And that's critically important. And I think the discussion around integrations today, I think it's sort of twofold. I think number one, there's a classic answer, and I think there's a more progressive answer. The classic answer is, does it fit into what we're already doing for the sake of visibility and intelligence, right? Because the extended workforce comprises so much of the modern total talent community within an organization, you need some level, and I'm not going to throw out total talent. I mean, Jeff, that's probably another forum right there, just on total talent. But you do need some, honestly, all joking aside, you do need some visibility into the totality of your talent, right? And so you can't do that if your VMS tech or your similar type of technology in the extended workforce side doesn't integrate at some basic level with your existing technology stack, right? And you need full, and it's not just visibility into the talent itself, it's payment, reconciliation, all the financials of it, right? I mean, I've heard of so many horror stories where a lack of integration between a VMS and their ERP means that suppliers are getting paid directly through a functional unit and also getting paid, also submitting an invoice and getting paid through the general AP, right? That's actually not a bad deal if it's a couple $1,000s here and there, but if you're a $500 million program, you're losing a lot of money, right? All my procurement friends in the line, we talk about the bottom line. That's bottom line erosion right there. So I feel like that's a classic aspect, right? It's just for the sake of, visibility and intelligence. And two, like we learned this during the pandemic. We want to know who our workers are, what they're working on, and what their status is. And it's not to be creepy and track what they're doing, right? But it's understanding at the end of the day that, what happens if and I remember talking to so many different business leaders during the course of the pandemic, right? I mean, they felt like therapy sessions in a way, that entire, that period of like March through like, maybe through Thanksgiving of that year. If I'm running a shop floor and, one case of COVID becomes 55, what do I do, right? I need visibility into both sides of my talent to understand, who am I bringing in, right? Where can I transfer work to ensure it still gets done? So anyway, that's more the classic answer.
If you want to unify the management of these previously disparate workforces, it's a data play. More than anything, you have to have the data to be able to make the right decisions. And so it's not just headcount and who people are and tenure and that sort of thing, which is important, but who's doing what where. And I'm throwing this challenge out. What are you getting in return? I think with all of these different extended workforce segments, you can take a look at, okay, here's my spend. What did I get in return? It's going to take some work, and all the people analytics gurus out there have already started on this, but how do we measure the contributions of people through these different categories? So I think you've hit on it, and Flextrack is built when we re-architected Flextrack on Salesforce. The idea was to make it so that integration is a strategy, is actually an advantage. And so because of our architecture, because of the way multiple ways we can connect, it's really designed to be faster, less expensive, and you mentioned this word, I think, agile or something similar to agile, so that if you want to switch out a system, it's not a year of development time and coding. But the most important part, one of the most important parts, I think, is is particularly if you're using APIs, and we use multiple types of APIs, every field gets mapped to an API for reporting. So every time we do an integration, the data that comes from that system, whether it be the ERP, whether it be the HCM, can be payroll, it can be a point solution, can be POs and invoicing, that's immediately available for reporting.